Hello and welcome to TMXing Adventures. My name is Lisa and today I'm going to show you a brand new recipe that is perfect for gifting to somebody or even just putting on your Christmas table for snacks. So come along today, let's make some candy cane cookies. So we're going to go straight to start cooking. Now I am not game enough to try this with gluten-free flour. I suspect it will not hold form unless you go buy the gluten-free flour that's particularly made for baking. So if you're gluten-free, I wouldn't make this one unless you're going to go invest in that flour. So let's get started. First thing it says is to line some trays. We do have some refrigeration steps in here, so I'm not going to line the trays and preheat the oven until way down the track. So let's just keep going with this recipe. First thing it says is butter. However, I'm aware that on the next step it needs icing sugar. And as you guys know, once you go to Thermomix, you don't keep icing sugar. You just use raw sugar for everything. So I'm going to put in 140 grams of raw sugar and we're going to take a second to mill it down. Well, actually, precisely 10 seconds. Now, this is the thing that I remember 9 years ago when I got my Thermomix and I started as a consultant. This is one of the things that stuck with me. And I couldn't get out of my head how you could actually make icing sugar out of raw sugar. So it's one less thing to put in your shopping trolley. It's one more thing you've got control over. And, you know, ultimately, you can just buy one thing and it's in the pantry. It's a minimalistic pantry, and that's what I love. So let's finish up to, now it says 4 because it was going to combine it and cream it, but I'm going to go to 10 because I haven't put the butter in, and I'm just going to go all the way up and make icing sugar. This doesn't get old. I love it. You can see the smoke, well, it's not smoke, it's sugar dust coming out of the Thermomix. Look at that. There it goes. All right, let's hit the back arrow. Let's get this butter in and do the creaming step. I don't know if you remember before you had a Thermomix. I'm presuming a lot of you watching on have a Thermomix. For those of you who are watching on, if you've got friends and family who have a Thermomix, make sure they know about these videos so that they can get inspired and make more than just a risotto or a soup or those sorts of things. Let them know that there is so much more that Thermomix can do and send them here to watch. Well, that was a little bit more, but that's okay. But creaming, do you remember before you had a Thermomix that how long it took to cream something with butter and sugar? How easy it is in the Thermomix. Let's do this now. Let's cream in the Thermomix. While we're doing that, if you've not yet hit the subscribe button or the bell below, do so now. I'd love your support to do so. So thank you very much for those of you who do. 10 seconds before. Now, I love to know these videos are helping you get more out of your Thermomix. So do say hi in comments below. Do let me know that you are making these recipes because that's what they're here for. They're here to inspire you, to help you gain confidence, and really ultimately transform your kitchen with the Thermomix. Oh my goodness, it's creamed. How cool is that? I love it. So remember beforehand, mixer or wooden spoon for ages, and you'd have like measuring cups out and all sorts of things. No, not with a Thermomix. How good is that? Okay, scrape down the sides with a spatula and add 1 egg. It does say 1 large egg, just whatever you've got. Hopefully no shells. Okay, next. Okay, vanilla extract. I don't have any vanilla at the moment. Well, actually, also, I have a tiny bit. I want to use some strawberry extract today, just to be a little bit different, because I figured they're candy canes and I can. You don't need much of this strawberry essence to flavour it. Okay, it says almond extract. I'm going to skip that out. Okay, all-purpose white flour. This is where I said I wouldn't trust a gluten-free flour to hold its form. I think you'll end up with little flat biscuits that are not candy cane shaped, and you don't want that. Okay, 315 grams. This is baker's flour I'm using. That's really because it's all I have in my pantry these days. Since owning a Thermomix, a little bit heavy, but it doesn't matter. We really make sure we've got a minimalistic pantry so we know at any given time what's in there and what's available for us to use. And it just makes life so easy because you can see everything. I have done a video when we first moved into this place back in December, January sometime, showing you what our pantry looked like and how we got it to that stage. So do check that out. I'm just not sure if it's on YouTube or if it's on Facebook. I'll have to go searching. Comment below if you want the link to that and I'll go searching for you. Okay, insert the measuring cup. That was just some salt. Okay, and it's 10 seconds, speed 4. Off it goes. Now you'll need some cling wrap, okay? Glad wrap, cling wrap. I don't use this very often. do is divide our dough, and we're going to refrigerate it. So this needs refrigerating before you can do anything with it. It's going to knead in a second. Okay, let's have a look. I think it says scrape down the sides. Insert the spatula through the hole. Now I don't have my my normal Thermomix one. I think it's been used already today, so I won't be using that one through the hole, this red one through the hole. Just a little, announcement. Don't use another Thermomix spatula through the hole when it calls you to. It has to be the one that's got the collar on it. Look at that sugar up the top there. So, there we go. That goes on. So I'm not going to do that step. I'm just going to let it knead for 1 minute. I'll take this out so you can see it, and off it goes. Now, as it's kneading, have you made this recipe? I would love to know. Put it in the comments if you've made this recipe. I think it would be perfect for gifting. So many ways. There we go. So many ways you could use this recipe. So gifting, but that Christmas table, entertaining. It just looks a little bit special. You can see it coming together, 30 seconds to go. And then we're going to take out half the dough, refrigerate half, colour the other half, and refrigerate that as well. So, I actually think it's done. It's actually really combined already, but let me check. I'll just double check with stopping it. As you guys know, I'm not very good at following through the whole way with instructions. Yeah, that's amazing. Look at that. All right, next. Okay, transfer half the dough to a work surface, wrapping cling film, and refrigerate. So with the Thermomix, I tend to just look in there and I follow a set of blades around and take out half, okay? So that kind of gives me the portion of how much is half and how much is not half. See how I took out the half that was on the low side? All right, now we need our 2 to 3 drops of food colouring. In it goes. And I wanted to use, I'm going to try and be quite red, so I've put in a decent amount. That was probably more than the 2 to 3. Insert the spatula again, and it's going to knead. And we're going to then do the same thing with this next batch, where we put it aside in the refrigerator. Okay. Combined already, so we can stop that early. So you'll literally see the next step is to repeat that step unless to combine it more. It is really hot and humid here, which is making things combine so much easier. Wrap the dough and refrigerate for at least 30 minutes. So I'll come back in 30 minutes and I'll show you how we roll these out and assemble them into beautiful candy canes and then put them in the oven. Well, actually they refrigerate again and then go in the oven. So I'll see you again soon. Okay, welcome back. It is now the next morning, and I actually didn't do it last night because it was so hot here. So I'm now going to try and assemble these candy canes. These are so buttery that you really need to do them when it's a bit cold or chilled, or the moment they start getting sticky, you need to put them back in the fridge. However, I'm going to try putting some flour on them and seeing if that helps to make them more pliable. Even as I roll them in my hands right now, it's melting. So these are 15 grams. The recipe suggests 15 gram balls, and you make 30 of them. So I guess that means you can make, is that 30 candy canes? Which is a fair, unless it's 15 of each color. I'm not sure. Anyway, so you make a lot from it. You can see how much I've got up the back here. There's plenty of dough. But I think the trick's going to be if I've got the patience to roll them together and make them candy cane shaped, right? So, because that's what it's all about. I do have intention of giving this job to the children later to actually do the others. So if I can show you one on camera or two on camera, then that's a win, okay? Because I'm not one for usually fiddly tasks. I am a let's just get it done. That's how I roll because I don't have much spare time in my day, and I'm a one lady show here, so I do it on my own. Okay, let's see. It says approximately 7 centimeters in length. They want these little sticks to be a bit like chalk is kind of the sizing I'm looking at here. And I'll show you in a second. Actually, let's see if I can wiggle this around. I'm really just practicing my Play-Doh skills is what I call this right now. Rolling it. There we go. All right, now I'm going to make the other one the same size. I weighed them out because I did want them to be the same size. And obviously, if you've got one heavier than the other, you're going to end up with one side more pink, more white, whatever like that. This is probably the best chance of getting it to work nicely. I still say nicely very loosely because this is not my standard style of cooking where it's very pedantic. And I have put this in the section for kind of gifting to people, like teachers' gifts, father's gifts, that sort of stuff. I think these look really festive and pretty, but it depends if you can get a candy cane shape, right? So let's give this a go. They're nearly the same length. I just got to make this one slightly longer. Now I've got this on my rose gold tray and I've got the silicone mat on it, which I love because the silicone mat actually has the sizings on the side. So I can check it off against there and see how close I am to the sizing I need to be. Now, this recipe, by the way, is the metric version from the US. It's from a US consultant. It's in a collection that consultants have put their recipes up in. So that's where I found this recipe, and I thought it was very festive. So now it says to put them together and twist them together. Sorry, the door slammed then. I am trying to keep everything open today because it is going to be so hot today. It's well into the 30s later on today. I'm getting up early to do this. Okay, so I've twisted it together, and then you're supposed to roll it. And this scares me a little bit to combine it. Let's see if I can actually make it stay and look like a candy cane. I'm kind of pushing it together as I go. Let me see if I can make sure you guys can see. And I'm kind of continuing to twist it because I'm mindful that I think if you roll it too much, the candy cane pattern will undo. Well, actually, this bit here doesn't even want to stick. For it being so sticky and humid, I'm surprised. Now, this is a little bit more fiddly than I'd like to be doing on camera. But you know me, I keep it real, okay? So if things go wrong, pear-shaped, they're hard, I will share that with you because I do not want this to be something where you guys get a false sense of what's achievable and what's not. I want to keep this super real for you guys. And that's why sometimes even you'll get videos that the sound's not great, and I do apologize. I'm hoping I fix that with this mic. But yeah, that's why, because I'd actually still rather you get the content even if it's not picture perfect, okay? I'd rather you see what real looks like. Real cooked food, real family food, real gifting food. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. Look at that, it kind of looks like candy cane. All right, now I want to roll the tip over. I'm actually a little bit excited. All right, look at that. Maybe I can make 30 candy canes or 15 candy canes, however many it is. Okay, I probably shouldn't play with that bottom bit too much or it's going to square it up. But there you go. Look at that. Oh, a little impressed. Look at my candy cane. All right, guys, that's how you make... I need to fix the bottom there. But anyway, let's not play too much. It'll probably melt on me. That's how you make candy cane biscuits in your TM6, okay? Now, would I rate this an easy recipe? The complexity of making the batter, the dough, easy, simple. The hands-on part here, a little challenging. It depends if you're up for the challenge. I think it would be a perfect, in hindsight now, I put out the recipe listing for the Christmas series back in October. So, this has been on there for a while. So I thought, how cool is that? That's such a great idea for gifting to people. I actually think it'd be a great, grandparent, grandchild activity, parent-child activity. I think they would love that. And if you're into making things that are just that little bit hands-on, if you're a crafter and those sorts of people, this is probably up your alley. If you're a speed cooker like me, where it's like the quicker in and out I can get, the better, probably not one for you. So I'll be getting my kids to help me with the other 20 of these that we need to make, and see how we go from there. I reckon they won't all look like candy canes, but that's half the fun, right? So otherwise, guys, thanks for joining me today. If you haven't yet downloaded that Christmas list, head over to tmxingadventures.com.au and you'll find it on the front there. You can download my festive favourites list. They're all the ones we've been cooking through this month. But I hope you're feeling inspired, and I hope that you'll share this video, these channels, with your friends and family who have a Thermomix and who need to see that there's more that they can do with the Thermomix. It's not just a fancy rice cooker or whatever that might be the standard soup maker, but it can do so much more. If 10 years on, 9 and a bit years on, I'm making new recipes to share with you guys and learning new skills with that and sharing them with you, there's so much more we can all do. So otherwise, guys, thanks for joining me today. I can't wait to inspire you further in the next video soon. So take care and do reach out if you've got questions. And as you make these, if you can make amazing pretty ones, I'd love to see them in the comments or send them to me on my website, because I'm sure that you can do a better job than I can today. But otherwise, guys, take care and I'll see you in the next video soon. Bye for now.